Once a year, an event takes place that captures the public's attention. A tournament that is one for the ages, unlike anything we've ever seen. We are talking about mustaches. What? You thought it meant something else? This is our March Madness. Let the games begin.
Pour the coffee!
Top of the mustache to you, and welcome to episode 9 of Mustaches and Coffee. Where the topic goes, nobody knows. I'm Isaac.
I'm Ben.
And with us, we have a special guest, Seth. How are you doing?
Doing great. How are you guys today?
Doing wonderful. Good to see you and have you on. Welcome back to the show. We're happy to have you on this special episode. But before we do, let's catch up a little bit, as we always do. Let's start with you, Seth, as our special guest. What's brewing in your life?
I've got some new equipment for podcasting, so that's exciting.
All
Testing
right.
it out and getting
Sounds
things
great.
going.
That's awesome. That makes a world of a difference. So I'm happy for you there. Anything else going on with you today or this week?
Not really. Drinking lots of coffee.
That's it. That's all there is. How about you, Ben? What's brewing in your life?
Just trying to adjust to this time change already. It happened today, but this whole week was just me just feeling tired. This weather in Ohio has been terrible. Also going from like 70s one day to like dropping 50 degrees in the same day. And yeah, so I'm not liking Ohio right now. I wish I was in Florida, but otherwise I do like, talking about coffee and stuff. So something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that's how it is. I'm with you on that because good old Ohio weather. We're back to cold. You listen to this podcast, know we don't like the cold, and it has come back with a vengeance with the time change. So that's probably about all that's going on for me too. I've been doing a lot of projects, just staying busy, like I've been saying. This is one of them, though. We've got this episode we've been really excited to do, and now it's finally come. So stay tuned for more episodes upcoming. We're excited to share with you more of our ideas. We have some interviews with some great people. So stay tuned. We're going to be sharing that here shortly in the coming weeks. So without further delay, we're going to get into this special March Madness Mustaches edition. So here at Mustaches and Coffee, we thought it was fitting that we have our own March Madness. That's right. We have a Mustaches edition. We compiled a list that took many, many hours to make sure the best of the best were included. All 64 contestants to fit into our bracket. We have 4 regions consisting of celebrities, sports, music, and fictional characters. So we're all 3 of us going to go around and give our personal vote for each matchup head to head, and the winner will move on. So my question to you guys is, are you ready?
Let the games begin.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. So we're going to start off of this March Madness Mustache Edition with the celebrity region. So our first matchup is the number 1 seed, Tom Selleck, versus 16 seed Clark Gable. So Seth, as our guest, What is your vote?
I gotta go Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. How about you, Ben?
Clark Gable has a great mustache, but Tom Selleck kind of brought the mustache back at a time when it was dying. So I'm going with Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck wins the matchup and is moving on. I would have went with Tom Selleck as well, so he had a clean sweep. So moving on. Now our next matchup is number 8, Wilford Brimley, diabetes, the man himself, versus number 9, Steve Harvey. Let's start with Ben first this time. What is your pick?
I got to go with Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley. All right. I I this is a tough one for me actually, but I'm actually gonna go Wilford Brimley. I'm gonna put
Oh,
it through.
wow.
Seth, what would have been your pick?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. So not a clean sweep, but Wilford Brimley. I mean, that was a tough one for me if it makes you feel better, Seth. But yes, Wilford Brimley is moving on. So moving along. It is the number 5 seed, Mark Twain versus 12, Geraldo Rivera. So I'll start here. I'm going to say Mark Twain. I'm going to move him on. Let's go to Seth next. Who is your pick?
I'm gonna have to agree with you, but it's a slight agreement.
All right. So Mark
I
Twain's moving on, but Ben, who would have you voted for?
That's a tough one. I'm trying to remember what Mark Twain's mustache exactly looks like, but I would probably have gone with the other guy, Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera, he was more like the 90s guy. He had the glasses.
Oh, okay, there.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Mark Twain's got the nice thick mustache. So that's hard to contend with, but good matchup. So Mark Twain moves on. So our next matchup is number 4, Albert Einstein versus number 13, Vincent Price. So what about you, Seth? What's your pick between this matchup?
Wunderbar. Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein. All right, Ben, who you picking?
I'm gonna go with Vincent Price. I like his style.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, you're putting it on me. This is the
Yeah.
first tiebreaker. Okay. Oh man, I like them both because they got their own. Oh man, I think I've got to
If it
go.
helps, can't go wrong either way.
You can't, you really can't. But I think I'm gonna stick with Albert Einstein. He's got a pretty famous one, but I would not have been upset if Vincent Price pulled the upset. So
Okay.
down goes Vincent Price. Albert Einstein is moving on with that tiebreaker. So moving on. Our next matchup is number 6 seed Burt Reynolds versus number 11. Who is Alex Trebek? So Ben, who's your pick?
Who is Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds. Okay. I'm going to pick Alex Trebek. So this now goes to Seth as the tiebreaker. Who you picking?
I'm sorry, Ben. I gotta go, Alex.
That's fine.
Alex Trebek with the upset. Our
Wow.
first upset. Look at that. So he is moving on to our next matchup. This is a pretty good one, I think. Number 3, Sam Elliott versus number 14, Jeff Foxworthy. You might be a redneck if you choose Jeff Foxworthy. I'm going to actually I'm actually going to go Jeff Foxworthy here. That's a very hot take, I'm sure, to a lot of people. I've heard many like Sam Elliott, but I'm going to pick that. And that comes to Seth now. Who's your pick?
I'm gonna say Jeff Foxworthy as well. But although I
Oh,
feel bad
Wow.
about it.
wow.
Wow.
All right. Who would you have picked, Ben?
Sam Elliott, because he doesn't get his salsa from New York City.
Wow. So I'm surprised we have back-to-back upsets going on there. So that's a wow, was not expecting that at all. All right. So moving on, we have number 7, Groucho Marx versus number 10, Nick Offerman. So we'll start with you, Seth.
This is a hard one. I mean, I love both of them dearly. I guess it has to be my mood that I'm in. And right now, I'm going Nick Offerman.
Okay, Nick Offerman. How about you, Ben?
I'm also going Nick Offerman.
All right. I think I would have went with Nick Offerman too. So I think that's a interesting sweep because I think I don't know how people would have voted on that actually. So Nick Offerman with the slight upset, number 10 to the 7 is
Fun
moving.
fact: Nick Offerman has a scotch named after him.
Yes, he does.
It fits his character on Parks and Recreation, so that's fitting. All right, here's our last matchup this round in the celebrity region. It is number 2, Salvador Dali versus number 15, Carl Weathers. So, Ben, you get to start. What's your pick?
I think Salvador has a classic mustache, but I gotta go with Carl Weathers, R.I.P.
Hmm, interesting. So, I'm actually going to go Salvador Dali. No knock to Carl Weathers. He had a fantastic mustache. But it's gonna come down to Seth now. Who's your pick?
Ben, I'm not going against you on purpose. I gotta go Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali,
All
number
right.
I'm a
2.
huge Carl Weathers fan, though.
Yeah, it's the thing about this bracket is this is very painful for us to have to pick. These are all good mustaches, we have to say. So no disrespect to the losers. So the first round for the celebrities, we have Tom Selleck, Wilford Brimley, Mark Twain, Albert Einstein, Alex Trebek, Jeff Foxworthy, Nick Offerman, and Salvador Dali. So how you guys feeling about that first round so far?
That was painful. Had to turn down some good people there.
There was some upsets for
This
sure.
was this was a March Madness round for sure. That's how it is. You have these upsets that occur. So moving on, we're going into our sports region now. So first seed Rolly Fingers versus number 16 Patrick Ewing. I'm gonna go with Rolly Fingers. I think this is a easy one for me. No disrespect to Patrick Ewing. Seth, who's your pick?
I love Patrick Ewing's passion, but I gotta go with fingers on this one.
All right, Ben, would you have objected to that, or what was your pick?
So I had both of their cards growing up. Uh, I have to pick fingers.
All right, Rolly Fingers. Moving on. Both number 1 seeds so far. Moving on. We got number 8 Gardner Minshew versus number 9 Larry Bird. Seth, who are you picking?
It's a slight victory. I gotta go with Gardner.
Gardner. Ben, who's your pick?
I'm gonna also go with Gardner. He's got a better stash.
All right, the number 8 seed. I probably would have as well. I do like Larry Bird. He has a very, very unique, I have to say, uh, mustache that he had back in the day. But moving on, Minshew is the next one in line. We have the next matchup, though. It is number 5, Dale Earnhardt versus number 12, Craig Stadler. So, Ben, you get to start with this one.
I'm going with Earnhardt.
Earnhardt. Okay. I think I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say Dale Earnhardt. So who would you have picked, Seth?
Dale.
All right. Dale with the sweep. He is moving on. So number 4, Andy Reid versus number 13, Mike Fires is our next matchup. So I believe it is back to you, Ben. Who you or you just picked first, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, it actually goes to me. I'm getting mixed up. I'm
That's
gonna
okay.
pick we came across this guy, Mike Fires. He has got one of the most unique mustaches, so I'm gonna pick him for the upset on this one. How about you, Seth? Who you picking?
Same.
Same. Okay. Who you picking there, Ben? Who would have been your
as much as I don't like the Chiefs, he is a first person to have his mustache completely freeze off in a Super Bowl or freeze. I would have picked Andy Reid.
The reason is he's got, like, this G. I don't know if you can see that. Mike Fires, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. So, for the uniqueness, I had to pick him. I don't know how far he'll make it in this tournament, but I gotta move him on there. So, okay. Now we move on to number 6, Reggie Jackson versus 11, Rich Goosage. So, I think it's back to you, Seth.
I gotta go Reggie.
Right. Ben, who are you picking?
I'm going with the Goose.
Goose. Oh, you're gonna put this on me. Oh man, both are so good. I think I'm gonna pick Goose though. Not just because his nickname is the Goose. I've gotta say he's got that kind of comes down past the mouth a little bit. He's almost I don't know. There's something about it. So I'm gonna pick the upset. Sorry about that, Seth, but that's my
Blasphemy.
Wah, wah,
That's
wah.
another upset. We're having a good amount of upsets going on here. All right. So moving on to number 3, Mike Ditka versus number 14, Phil Jackson. And I believe this is back to you, Ben. Am I correct on that?
I think so.
All right. Who are you picking?
So I'm gonna have to go with the Bears, Mike Ditka.
I'm gonna actually agree with you as well. Phil Jackson does have a good mustache, but Mike Ditka is just he would look so strange without a mustache. He's one of those people, I think. Who would have been your pick, Seth?
I gotta go Ditka.
All right.
I love Phil Jackson's mustache, but Ditka.
Okay. Ditka with the sweep moves on. Now we come to number 7, Randy Johnson versus number 10, Larry McDonald. So I'm going to go with Randy Johnson as much as Larry McDonald. I don't know. Maybe that's nostalgia talking for me. That Randy Johnson mustache always stuck with me. How about you, Seth?
I gotta go Randy Johnson.
Oh, okay. Ben, who would have you picked?
Uh, Larry McDonald, just because he would look like a cool guy at a club.
If nobody's ever seen Larry McDonald's, please look it up. We don't have, you can't see this, but I'm pained that he's not moving on. But I can't go against Randy Johnson. He's just very unique. So
Also, I wouldn't think I would want to meet either of them in a back alley
no,
at night.
no, no,
Especially if they teamed up.
no. Larry McDonald was a hockey player, so that alone should tell you volumes of not wanting to mess with him. But nevertheless, it's Randy Johnson moving on. So our last matchup of the celebrities, or I'm sorry, the sports. I'm getting ahead of myself. The sports round. We have number 2, Hulk Hogan versus number 15, Kirk Gibson. Seth, who you picking?
Gotta go Hulk Hogan.
The Hulkster. Hulkmania. Ben, who you picking?
All right, brother. I'm gonna pick Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan would have been my pick too. There's been some things about him, but we're picking mustaches. So Hulk Hogan moves on. So that is our sports region. To recap, moving on, we have Rolly Fingers, Gardner Minshew, Dale Earnhardt, Mike Fires, Rich Goosage, Mike Ditka, Randy Johnson, and Hulk Hogan. All right. How we feeling, guys? How was that last round compared to the other round?
I think it went pretty smooth,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Some tough
even
ones to
though
pick there.
even though Reggie didn't make it through.
I do feel bad he didn't move on, but man, that's March Madness for you. That's just how it goes. So here we go. We're going to move into our music region. This is going to be very interesting, I think. Very good matchups in this round. So number 1, Freddie Mercury versus number 16. It's a package deal. It's all of ZZ Top. Couldn't have just one of them. So I think we are up to Ben now. Who you picking?
I'm gonna go with Freddie Mercury. I know ZZ Top has famous for the facial hair, but I'm going Freddie.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep agreeing with you, Ben. I don't know how that if that's gonna continue, but for
It's
right
because we're
now,
related, we
I
think
get I
alike.
don't know. I don't know. But I'm gonna pick him. Who would you have picked, Seth?
To me, it's a buzzer beater. I think it's Freddie Mercury, but it's got to be a close one.
For sure. Nice touch. I would actually think of it as a matchup of being he even as a 1 seed, you might have got nervous during this game, like, there might be an upset. All right. Moving on. Number 8, Jimi Hendrix versus number 9, Carlos Santana. I am gonna go with Carlos Santana with this one. How about you, Seth?
Got to go, Carlos.
Carlos wins this one, but Ben, who would have been your pick?
I would have gone Carlos also.
All right. Even though
Props to Jimi Hendrix, though.
Yes.
yes, yes. Great mustache, but it's gonna be Carlos moving on this time. So now we move to number 5, Sonny Bono versus 12, Lemmy Kilmister, if that's how you say his last name. I'm thinking. Seth, who's your pick?
I'm going to swap them here. I'm going to go with Lemmy.
Lemmy. Okay. Ben, who you got?
That's a tough one. They both have interesting mustaches. I'm gonna go with Lemmy just because he looks like he belongs in the 1800s.
Yeah, this is an upset, but I don't know. I would have picked Lemmy as well. So that's a clean sweep. And little fun fact, if you've ever played Super Mario World, Lemmy, one of the Koopa kids, was named after Lemmy. So
Wow.
Ah,
I didn't know that.
the
they
more you know.
they really
The
liked
more you
they're at
know.
Nintendo. They liked their Motorhead, I guess. So all right, moving on. Number 4, Frank Zappo or Zappa, I'm sorry, versus number 13, George Harrison. So I think we're back to Ben.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go Frank. He's just got the cool stash and the soul patch going.
All right. I think that's the obvious choice, but I'm going to go against you this time, Ben. I'm actually going to pick George Harrison, and maybe that's I like maybe the more elegant or just simple because George just has the mustache you think of. When you think of a mustache, I think George Harrison's got it spot on. So Seth, you're going to be our tiebreaker. Who are you picking?
I'm sorry, Ben. I got to go with George.
All right.
Ooh, interesting. I thought you were gonna pick old Frank there. So George actually with the upset. Number 13. Wow. Okay. Moving on. We have number 6, Yanni versus number 11, David Crosby. So I'm going to I think I'm gonna pick an upset here of David Crosby. That's what I'm leaning towards. How about you, Seth?
I got to go Crosby.
Ooh, Crosby. How about you? What would you have picked, Ben, if you had to pick?
I would have had a gone Crosby also. He's got a
All
very
right.
nice stash.
So an upset, but clean sweep. All right. So this one is going to be an interesting, kind of a different kind of matchup. We have number 3, John Oates versus number 14, Andre 3000. Seth, who's your pick?
All right, it's going to make you upset. I respect John Oates' mustache, but I got to go Andre 3000.
Wow. Okay. Ben, who are you picking?
This one's tough. They both have really good stashes, and it would actually be really interesting if they did a music collaboration together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with John Oates.
Mm.
Mm. Back to me for the tiebreaker. I enjoy both of these too. I mean, you got to stop and think with these. You can't just a lot of these aren't as so clear cut, but man, I'm gonna stick with John Oates as much as I think Andre 3000 should have at least moved on one round. I think he just got, sometimes in these tournaments, you just don't get a good matchup. I think this was a bad matchup, unfortunately. So John Oates is moving on into the next matchup. We have a really good matchup, I think. We've got Lionel Richie and Little Richard. So I think this is coming back to you, Seth. Is that right?
That sounds right.
All right. Why don't you go ahead then?
I'm gonna have to go with the iconic Lionel Richie.
All right. Who you got, Ben?
Ah, this one's tough. I'm gonna have to go with Little Richard.
Woo! Ah, man. Man, you keep putting me in these spots. I gotta go Lionel Richie. I think that's a tough one, but Lionel Richie, I mean, I think that's a
He shot more
disservice.
free throws. Won the games.
Little Richard was just, he's just fouling out, I guess. I don't know. He sending Richie to the free throw. All right, he's moving on then. Lionel Richie, number 7 seed. So, last music region for this round. We have number 2 Prince versus number 15 Jeff Baxter. So, I think we're up to you, Ben. Who you got?
So I'm trying to think, remember who Jeff Baxter is exactly.
He was the bass player for Steely Dan.
Okay. Uh,
And
I have an answer, and
okay.
I'm biased because I also play bass. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm going with Jeff Baxter.
All right. I mean, Prince, yeah, that's tough. Oh man. I'm gonna say Prince because I want to put Seth on the spot. So but Baxter's so good. I don't know. What do you pick, Seth?
Finally, Ben and I agree. I hate to say it though. I love Prince's mustache.
I think it's hard. I think Baxter should have been ranked a little higher, but that's just how it worked out. But that is actually an upset. So number
A big upset.
15, big upset on Prince. So to recap, we have our music region moving on. It is Freddie Mercury, Carlos Santana, Lemmy Kilmister, George Harrison, David Crosby, John Oates, Lionel Richie, and Jeff Baxter. All right, we're gonna move into our fictional, but how you guys feeling so far?
I liked it.
Good. Yeah, it was fun.
We're speechless.
It was fun.
This is feeling like actual March Madness. I'm
I
getting in
know.
kind of like, whoo, this is taking it out of you trying to get these picks, but here we go. We're gonna jump into our fictional. So this can be a variety of matchups going on here. So our first one is the Pringles man versus he's number 1 seed versus number 16, the Swedish chef from the Muppets. I'm gonna I gotta pick the Pringles man as much as the Swedish chef is one of my favorite Muppets. I could watch any kind of Swedish chef, but Pringles is just too well known. So Seth, who are you picking?
I gotta go Pringles, and I really feel bad about the Swedish chef because his mustache is so iconic.
I agree. Who would have been your pick then?
Burger, burger, here go, have a burger. To answer the question, I would have picked the Swedish chef.
I can't say I'd be too upset, but I gotta go with one that yeah, Pringles is moving on. So next matchup, number 8, Yosemite Sam versus number 9, Captain Hook. Who you got, Seth?
Oh.
I got Yosemite Sam.
Okay, Ben, who is your pick?
Oh my goodness, this is tough. All right, all right.
They
It's
both
gonna
have
take
great hats. You gotta say, man, they got the hats down. Like,
Do you have a picture of Captain Hook? I gotta see him again. Okay, there it is. Gosh. Okay, I'm just gonna go with Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam is moving on. I think I would have been with you guys too. So number 8,
Man, that was
Yosemite
tough.
Sam. It takes it out of you, man. You don't think it would
Whew.
be hard, but it is. All
Where's
right.
the water boy? I need some Gatorade.
High quality H2O.
I need a
Yeah.
towel.
So we move to our next matchup. This is 5 Dick Dastardly versus number 12, Boris from Rocky and Bullwinkle. So I think we're up to you, Ben.
Oh, yet another tough one. I'm gonna go with Boris.
Okay. I'm wanting to put this on Seth because I think both of these they got the great villain mustaches going on in different ways, but I would pick Dick Dastardly, Wacky Races. Seth, who you got?
Ben, I'm so sorry. It's gotta be dastardly.
Oh, you can't knock Boris's mustache. That is so good. But yes, Dick Dastardly moves on this round. So
It's the perfect villain look.
it
Well, they
is.
both have it, so I don't
He
know.
twirls it and everything
Yeah.
in the cartoon. So, they knew what they were doing when they made that. But he's moving on. We got our next matchup. This is a very unique one, I think. We have the Lorax versus Captain Crunch. I mean,
Oh, this is great.
man, this is one of the tougher ones, man. You got I'm gonna go Lorax here. I I grew up eating Captain Crunch, but the Lorax has the mustache. What are you gonna say, Seth?
I'm Captain Grunch.
Ooh.
Wow.
Down to you, Ben. You have the
All
tiebreaker.
right. So I, I'm laughing because I'm just trying to think of the body weight to mustache ratio of the Lorax. Like, I gotta go Lorax.
Lorax is moving on. I think Captain again, he just had the bad matchup. He probably would have went far if he had a different matchup, but down goes Captain Crunch with the ship. It's the Lorax that wins this round. Our next matchup is number 6, Waluigi versus 11, Mr. Potato Head. And yeah, Mr. Potato is actually lower on there, but that's just the way it's gonna go. Seth, who are you picking?
Waluigi, I'm not gonna win.
All right, Ben, who you got?
I got Mr. Potato Head because his is detachable.
Mm, that's a good point. That's a good point. Oh man, I really like Waluigi, but I might go Mr. Potato Head here. I hate to say it. Just he's got a solid mustache, you have to say.
For the
So,
upset.
and another upset. We've got another one. It is 11 seed. Moving on, Mr. Potato Head. Moving on, we have number 3, Super Mario versus 14 Geppetto. So we're starting with you, Ben.
Yet another one, but I have to go with Mario because they couldn't even do his lips right. He was just the mustache starting out, so I'm going Mario.
Yeah, I think it's an easy pick for me. No knock against Geppetto. You look, he's got a pretty solid one too. What would have been your pick, Seth?
Mario.
All right, Mario with the clean sweep. Moving on, we have number 7, Ned Flanders versus number 10, Monterey Jack from the Rescue Rangers. I'm gonna pick Monterey Jack here. So, who you got, Seth?
No knock on Ned Flanders. I gotta go Monterey Jack.
Monterey Jack. Who would have been your pick, Ben?
Well, to quote this person, my favorite type of ice cream is vanilla or plain. I think it says plain. I would have gone Ned Flanders.
Nice.
All right. So Monterey Jack is moving on. We come to our last matchup. It is the Monopoly Man himself, number 2, Uncle Pennybags versus number 15, Dr. Robotnik, also known as Eggman. So, who is your pick, Seth?
Oh, that's so hard. That's a hard one. Mm, gonna have to go Eggman.
Mm, Eggman. Okay. Ben, who you got?
Again, another hard one, but I'm going Eggman.
Wow. Okay. See, I thought I was going to be the only one. That's a huge, huge upset, but I would have probably picked Eggman too. When you put them side by side, I don't think there's a comparison, but that's just me. So we got our first round set. To recap our fictional region, we have the Pringles Man, Yosemite Sam, Dick Dastardly, the Lorax, Mr. Potato Head, Super Mario, Monterey Jack, and Eggman. So, first round is complete. How you guys feeling? Still with me?
I loving it.
Yeah, having fun.
All right. Here we go. We're going to go right back around to our celebrities. So, this is going to be interesting, I think. We've got some tighter matchups, I think, going on here. So the first one is celebrity number one. Tom Selleck is now against the diabetes man himself.
Oh
Number
man,
8, Wilford Brimley.
gosh.
And Ben, you get to start.
Oh my goodness, this is it. All right, I gotta go, Wilfred.
Wilford Brimley. Okay. Well, this is where, man, it just pains me, but I gotta go Tom Selleck. It's he's just so well known. But yeah, my pick's Tom Selleck. So Seth, what's the tiebreaker?
Magnum PI.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
down goes diabetes.
Fun
Sorry,
fact.
Wilford.
Another fun fact. Tom Selleck was originally offered the role of Indiana Jones.
There you go. Just think of him with the hat and the whip and that mustache. That would have been an unbeatable combination right
In the
there.
mustache.
Would he have had a Hawaiian shirt the entire time, though?
Oh my goodness.
He could have done the undercover stuff
Yeah.
in the Hawaiian. He could have played the Magnum PI undercover. The what ifs just go through your mind. So Tom Selleck, moving on. Now we have number 5, Mark Twain versus number 4, Albert Einstein. I'm gonna go with Mark Twain on this one. That's gonna be my pick. Who you got, Seth?
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain. Okay, who would have been your pick, Ben?
E equals MC Mark Twain.
He did the little pump fake there. Look at that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you heard
He
my
just
my shoes squeaking. I went one way and boom.
he just broke some ankles with that one, folks. All right. So Mark Twain is moving on. We're into a pretty interesting matchup this time. We got 2 upsets that had moved on. Number 11, Alex Trebek versus number 14, Jeff Foxworthy. So Seth, who is your pick?
Trebek.
Trebek. Who do you got, Ben?
Who is Jeff Foxworthy? Because Alex Trebek shaved his mustache off at one
He
time.
he did. This isn't something to consider, but as a tiebreaker, I'm gonna put Trebek through. He's just that's how I remember him. As
Yeah.
much as he did shave it, I just you know, I
He
don't
just
know.
never looked the same to me. Like he looks different.
Yeah. I think that's where you can really judge, at least from my perspective. If
It
they
was
look
good though.
so much different without a mustache, that's how you know it was a good mustache.
True,
Like he
true.
should have kept it, but he's moving on. All right. Last one in the celebrity region. We have number 10, Nick Offerman versus number 2, Salvador Dali. So we're back to you, Ben.
Well, I'm going Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman. Okay. I like Nick Offerman, but I'm gonna go Salvador Dali here. So Seth, you're our tiebreaker.
This is when it gets serious. I gotta go.
Brace yourself.
I gotta go Dolly.
Sal-
Wow.
Salvador Dali. That was a very tough matchup. I think another buzzer beater, as much
Well,
as
if you
that
look at a
was.
lot of his photos, he had different mustaches, completely different.
Yeah.
and they were all so distinctive. I mean,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
it was just him.
Yeah. That's where, again, he had a variety, so that's what just made him so great. It was, jack of all trades, so to say. Okay, so moving on with the celebrity to recap. To move into the Sweet 16, we have Tom Selleck, number 1 seed. Number 5, Mark Twain. Number 11, Alex Trebek. And number 2, Salvador Dali. All right. So, how are you guys feeling?
Ex
Speechless.
excited. I'm
It's been a
very
tough one.
excited and bummed out that a few of these guys didn't make it through.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. It's been tough, but this is what we got. So, all right. Moving into the sports, we're back around. We have number 1, Rolly Fingers versus number 8, Gardner Minshew. I gotta go Rolly Fingers here. No disrespect to Gardner Minshew, but that's my pick. How about you, Seth?
Gotta go fingers. It's a tough one though.
Yep. All right. Who would have been your pick there, Ben?
The coolest baseball player with the mustache ever, Raleigh Fingers.
All right. Moving on then. We have number 5, Dale Earnhardt versus 13, Mike Fires. So it's back to you, Seth.
I'm gonna throw a curveball. Fires.
Nice. Ben, who do you pick?
This is tough because they both have kind of different styles. I'm going to go with Dale Earnhardt.
Oh, man. Man. As a
I won't be mad
tiebreaker,
at you.
I don't like this. I don't like being a tiebreaker. I like seeing other
I won't be
people
mad at you.
squirm. I think Dale Earnhardt. I really wanted Mike Fires to move on because it's such a unique mustache. I've never seen a mustache like that before, but Dale Earnhardt is going to take it this time. That was a close one. So moving on, we got Rich Goose, number 11 versus the number 3, Mike Ditka. So we are back to you, Ben.
Oh man, this is a tough one. Uh I'm gonna go with the goose.
All right, Goose. Man, it is. But I'm actually gonna go Ditka on this one. I'm gonna make Seth be a tiebreaker again.
Ben, I'm sorry. I gotta go Ditka.
That's fine.
All right. Ditka is moving on. So we
The
have
Bears.
the Bears are happy about that. We got now our last matchup. It is for the sports region. Number 7, Randy Johnson versus number 2, Hulk Hogan. Oh man, I think I gotta pick the Hulkster here. I think Randy Johnson has a great mustache though, but that's my pick. What do you got, Seth?
I got Hulk as well. I think that Randy Johnson had his own look, and I think it was respectful, but I gotta go with Hulk.
Okay. Ben, what would have been your pick?
So I kind of would want to see them both in a ring facing off against each other. That would be interesting. I'm going with Hulk Hogan. His mustache is iconic.
You have this really tall guy versus actually, I think Hulk's not that tall. You think he'd be taller, but that would have been interesting to see. Okay. So the recap for the sports moving into the Sweet 16. We have number 1, Rolly Fingers, Dale Earnhardt, Mike Ditka, and Hulk Hogan. Okay. We're we're getting there, guys. You still with me here so far?
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's just gonna get tougher from here, I think. I just got this feeling. So here it goes. We have the number 1, Freddie Mercury versus number 9, Carlos Santana. Seth, who are you picking?
Gotta go with Mercury.
Okay. Ben, who you got?
Oh man, I'm going with Carlos.
Carlos. Okay. I'm gonna go with Freddie. I,
All
that
right.
that that was a lot harder than I thought. honestly. So Freddie Mercury is moving on. Next, we have Lemmy Kilmister versus the number 12 seed versus number 13, George Harrison. So who you got, Ben?
I'm going with Lemmy.
Okay, I think I got to go with Lemmy too. I probably would have defended George a little more, but you know what? It's going to be Lemmy. What would have been your pick, Seth?
I gotta go with Lemmy. I'm sorry.
Okay, clean sweep for Clemmy there, or Lemmy. Put his last name and his first name together. Lemmy. All right.
Lemmy.
Next, we have number 11, David Crosby versus number 3, John Oates. So I think we're back to you, Ben.
I'm going Crosby.
Crosby. I'm gonna go Oates. So Seth, who's the tiebreaker?
I'm going Crosby for the upset.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
David Crosby is moving on.
That
Big
does sound
upset.
like a cereal, though. Get your Crosby and Oats.
They missed a golden opportunity there.
Oh my goodness.
That is something I definitely would have seen in the stores.
Are you
so.
not regular? Try Crosby and Oats.
Moving on. We're going. Number 7, Lionel Richie versus number 15, Jeff Baxter. I've got to do Lionel Richie here. Jeff Baxter's just great, but man, yeah, I'm gonna go Lionel Richie. Who do you got, Seth?
Lionel Richie, one of the most iconic mustaches in the world.
All right. Who would have been your pick there, Ben?
Lionel, baby.
Okay, clean sweep for Lionel. So for the music region, the Sweet 16 is Freddie Mercury, Lemmy Kilmister, David Crosby, and Lionel Richie. All right, guys, how you feeling going into this last one of this round? How do you guys feel?
This
Starting
is
to
a
get
doozy.
sweaty.
Ring out your socks.
There you go.
Okay. Here we go. We are going to have a interesting, very, very interesting matchup. It is the Pringles man, number 1 versus number 8, Yosemite Sam. Oh man, this is a tough one. What are you going with? We're gonna start with Seth.
I'm going for the upset, Yosemite Sam.
Ooh. What do you say, Ben?
Well, to quote him, great horny toads, I'm going with Yosemite Sam.
Oh, wow. Huge upset. The number 1 seed goes down. So it's Yosemite Sam. Moving on. We
What
have
would
the
you have
next.
picked?
Yeah, I think I would have went with Sam. As much as Pringles is, I think he's a solid number 1 seed, but I'm with you guys. That's a sweep. So,
They say those 8 and 9s are usually the upsets.
yep, Yosemite Sam's
Yeah.
right there.
Mhm.
That makes it plausible in my mind for sure. Here we go though. This is another tough one. Number 5, Dick Dastardly versus number 4, the Lorax. So, this is coming back to Ben to start it off.
I'm going with Wilford Brimley as a cartoon, the Lorax.
Oh, man. I don't think you can go wrong with this one, but I'm gonna go with old Dastardly. So what do you say there, Seth?
I'm actually going to switch up to the Lorax on this one.
All right. So the Lorax moves on. Cannot
Woohoo!
can't really disagree with that. That's such a unique mustache. So I'm not mad about that at all. So moving into the next one, we have a big matchup in terms of the seeding.
Woo.
We have number 11, Mr. Potato Head versus number 3, Super Mario. I, I think it's easy though for me. I'm gonna go Super Mario. What do you got, Seth?
I got to go Super Mario.
Okay, and who would you pick then?
This was tough, but I was gonna go Mr. Potato Head.
Okay,
Whoa.
that would have been an interesting one, but It's gonna be Super Mario this time. So he's moving on, and the last matchup to get to the Sweet 16. Number 10, Monterey Jack versus number 15, Dr. Robotnik, Eggman. So think it's gonna be back to Seth this time. Who you got?
I got Eggman.
Eggman. What do you got, Ben?
I'm gonna go Monterey Jack. If I'm saying that
Ooh,
right.
yeah, yeah, just like the cheese.
Yep.
Man. I think I've got one of the more tougher tiebreakers, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. These are all tough. I'm gonna go with Eggman. I don't know. That's just tough to. That's tough. I could go either way, but I'm gonna go Eggman. So, all
Another
right,
upset.
we're getting a lot of more upsets than I
Yeah.
thought. This is interesting. So, to recap, we have Yosemite Sam, the Lorax, Super Mario, and Eggman. That is the Sweet 16. So, how are you guys feeling so far? We're going into the Sweet 16.
Whoo! This is awesome. Having a
Shaking out the
blast.
nerves. Shaking out the nerves.
Okay. We're we're right back at it. It just keeps getting quicker and quicker too. So we're right back to celebrities. Here we go. Number 1, Tom Selleck versus number 5, Mark Twain. So I think we're back to Seth already. Who you got?
I got Tom Selleck on this one.
Who you got, Ben?
He made Hawaiian shirts cool. I'm going with Mark Twain.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna go Tom Selleck. I'm gonna go Tom Selleck.
I
Yep.
was gonna fight tooth and nail if he was in front of me.
No, Mark Twain's got a great mustache, but he's gonna lose this round to Tom Selleck. Just hard to not move him on. Okay. Now we have number 11, Alex Trebek versus number 2, Salvador Dali. Wow. Okay, Ben, you get to start it.
I'm going with Dolly. I like his stash.
You know what? I'm gonna go Dolly too. Who would have been your pick, Seth?
I was kind of undecided on that one. I love Trebek so much, but Dolly is so original with his mustaches.
Yeah. Interesting for the Elite Eight. As a recap, we have the number 1 and number 2 seeds, Tom Selleck and Salvador Dali. They're gonna be a
Wow.
tough, very tough matchup when we get back to them, I have to say. Okay. So, oh man, this is gonna be interesting. We have in the sports region, we're back to the sports. Number 1, Rolly Fingers versus number 5, Dale Earnhardt. I have gotta go Rolly Fingers, though. Who you got, Seth?
I got fingers.
Okay. How about you, Ben?
Fingers all the way.
All right. So moving on. It's gonna be now Mike Ditka, number 3, versus number 2, Hulk Hogan. And it's gonna come back to Seth. Who you got?
I gotta go Hulk Hogan on this one.
Okay. What's your pick, Ben?
Again, also a matchup I would like to see in the ring. Uh, Tika versus Hogan. I've got to go Hulk.
Okay. It's
Wow.
it's Hulk. Moving on. Wow, this is interesting. I would have went with Ditka on that one, actually, but it's hard
I was
to.
leaning there, but then I thought about it and I was like, it's more original mustache. It's more, you know what I
It's just
mean?
it's a tough one, but that's how it goes. It's another 1 and 2 seed made it all the way through for the sports. It's Rolly Fingers and Hulk Hogan. They're gonna be in the
That's
Elite 8.
amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was not expecting that, but that's how it goes. So we're moving right along into our music region. It is number 1, Freddie Mercury versus number 12, Lemmy. I'm just gonna say Lemmy. Just sounds better. Honestly, I'm probably butchering his name. I apologize already. Oh, I think it's back to me, and you know what? I'm actually gonna pull an upset. I'm gonna say Lemmy. So, Seth, who do you have?
I got Lemmy too.
Oh, Lemmy is moving on, but Ben, would you have agreed?
Yes, I would have gone with Lemmy.
Okay. Freddie is a well-known mustache, but he is going to lose this round to Lemmy. So, interesting. Moving into the next matchup, it is 11 David Crosby versus 7 Lionel Richie. And we're back to you, Seth.
As difficult as this one is, I gotta go Lionel Richie.
Okay. Ben.
I'm going number 11 seed, David Crosby.
Whew, man. I gotta stop and think about it, but I'm still leaning towards Lionel Richie here. It's just that's just what I have to go with. I don't
Sounds
know.
good.
I think I've been split with you guys. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys have noticed that. I've been with Ben on a good amount, and then I've been with Seth here recently. There's been a streak of agreeing. So we got a little different seating going on with the music region. We got Lemmy and Lionel Richie. I would not have thought that would have been a matchup, but here we are. They are in the Elite Eight. This is fantastic. Okay. So back to fictional. This is gonna be some really hard fought games. I think this is where the real close ones, these are like must see TV matchups. You got number 8, Yosemite Sam versus number 4, Lorax. And Ben, you get to start off. Who's moving on?
Oh gosh, these are both iconic characters. I gotta go with Lorax on this one.
Whew, Lorax. I'm gonna go with old Sam. Man, he's a varmint, man. His biscuits are burning. He's gotta to me, he's gotta be the pick. But Seth, you're gonna be the tiebreaker.
There's no ill will here, but I gotta go Sam.
Sam upsets the Lorax.
Sounds good.
That is a pretty good upset, I think. That
That's a
was
big
a
one.
I think it could have went to overtime. That was a that was a
That was
close one.
close.
Very, very close. Okay, this is very appropriate. Very appropriate. We have number 3, Super Mario versus number 15, Eggman. We have to remember Mario's not been thrown into a Sonic game. He's not the protagonist. This is mustaches we're talking about. So I still gotta go Super Mario though, not just because he's the good guy. I gotta pick Super Mario. Who do you got, Seth?
It's the more iconic mustache. Gotta go Mario.
Mario gets it, but Ben, what would have been your pick?
This would have been hard, and also this would have actually been a really cool game if they did crossover. Mario versus Eggman. I gotta go with Mario.
Okay, so Mario got the sweep. I think that would have been closer. It might have been like a nail biter there, but the last minute Mario probably pulls away. So Elite Eight for fictional. We have Yosemite Sam versus Super Mario.
That's gonna be tough.
Okay, we're moving into Elite Eight, guys. How are we feeling?
Crunch time.
Overwhelmed.
It does not get any easier from here, but here we are. We're in the Elite Eight. These are ones that have fought through adversity. They want to get to the final 4. So here it is. These are your matchups. We're going to go to the celebrity Tom Selleck, number 1 versus number 2, Salvador Dali. And I think it's going to go back to Seth. He gets to start.
If you've ever watched the Jesse Stone series, you know it's Tom Selleck.
Okay. Ben.
This is tough. uh he brought the mustaches back. Everybody made him he made him look cool. I'm going with Tom.
Yay!
Selleck. You know what? I'm just glad I did not have to make that decision. I'm glad. I was getting nervous. I was like, am I gonna have to be the tiebreaker? But no, it is Tom Selleck, number 1 seed in the final 4. He's moving on. So we're in the sports. Number 1 and number 2 seeds again. 1, Rolly Fingers versus number 2, Hulk Hogan. So we're going to start with Ben.
I'm speechless. Again, this would also be an awesome cage match. I got a theme going on.
What if it was a
Oh,
mustache battle though? They
like
could only
fists come
fight
out, they
they could only
punch.
fight with their mustaches.
Then, if that's the case, I think Raleigh Fingers got this one.
Ooh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna pick Rolly Fingers too. 1 seed again, but Seth, what
Uh,
what would have been your pick?
Fingers.
All right, clean sweep. Sorry, Hulkster brother, you're gonna lose this time. Fell just
oh
short,
man, brother.
but
On that side, we got the number ones.
number ones, celebrity and sports. We got number 1. So we get back to music. Here we go. And oh my goodness, it's gonna be Lemmy versus Lionel Richie. I'm gonna pick Lemmy here. It's my pick. Lemmy is my pick. Seth, who do you got?
I am singing all night long, Lionel Richie.
Woo, Ben, you have the tiebreaker.
I feel nervous. I feel honored. I'm going with Lionel, baby.
Yeah.
Lionel Richie moves on the number 7. I cannot disagree though. I mean, you can't go wrong. But poor Lemmy, you did your best. You at least made it far there. I'm happy to see. So we have Yosemite Sam, number 8, versus number 3, Super Mario. So I think it's back to you, Seth.
I'm going Mario.
Mario and Ben, who do you got?
This is very difficult. It pains me, but I think he's had his mustache for longer. I'm going Yosemite Sam.
Mm, so sticking me with the tiebreaker on this one.
Yep.
My goodness. They got here for a reason. That's what you always
Yeah.
have to look at. This is not a Cinderella story, I don't think. Even with Yosemite Sam at 8, you got to respect him. However, down goes Sam. Mario is just too. I mean, yeah, it pains me.
It's
That's a hard
iconic, yeah.
one. It's hard. It's so hard. But
Let's go.
that's it. That's our number. That's our final 4. How do you guys feel about this final 4?
This is awesome.
It might be the best looking Final Four I've ever seen in my life.
Here at Mustaches and Coffee, we agree wholeheartedly. This is fantastic. So here we go. As Mario would say, let's go to the final 4. What a matchup indeed. Now we have a celebrity versus sports. Tom Selleck, number 1. Another number 1 seed. Rolly Fingers. Oh, man. Let's go ahead and start with Ben for this one.
I'm gonna go with Fingers.
Fingers. Hmm. I'm gonna do Selleck. I'm gonna stick it to Seth to make the tie-breaking vote.
It's up to you, Seth.
That's not hard for me because it's Tom Selleck all the way.
Oh, Tom Selleck is in the finals, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Selleck did it. I think that would have been a major upset if he did not, but still, you can all breathe a sigh of relief. Anybody that was pulling for him, he made it. So, last matchup for the final 4. It is Lionel Richie versus Super Mario. I'm gonna go Super Mario here. That's no disrespect to Lionel. So what do you got, Seth?
This is where I start to veer off my pass. I'm going, it's a me, Mario.
There it is. Who would have been your pick there, Ben?
So I kind of I thought I remembered that Lionel Richie was actually an unlockable character in Super Mario, I think. I could be wrong. Anyways.
I've never heard that one before, but man, I'm gonna look it up.
No, I'm just
That's
playing.
if so, that'd have been the
I would have
most
gone with Super
insane
Mario.
that would have been the most insane stat. I'm like, I have never heard that. Okay.
Yeah, Super Mario.
This is a big one, guys. We've arrived at the finals of the best mustache for March Madness. Are you guys ready?
I think
I'm
so.
ready.
Okay. We're gonna start it the way we began. So, number 3, Super Mario versus the 1 seed Tom Selleck. Seth, you have the honors to put in your vote for the best mustache.
So when I looked at this bracket, this is who I had in the finals. And by a hair, I gotta say, Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck gets 1 vote as the best mustache. We come to you, Ben. Who is your pick for best mustache?
I just have to say, good. I was, all the other competitors did great. They did fantastic. But worldwide, I feel like Super Mario has a better iconic mustache. That's who I'm sticking with.
I was hoping this would just be decided, It's it comes back to a tie-breaking vote. And like Ben, I have to say this has been a journey unlike anything I've ever experienced. To see these matchups, see these great competitors fall, get upsetted at times, and these giants move on. We've come to this. Your 2024 March Madness Mustache Edition winner is Tom Selleck. He is your number
Wow.
1 mustache, ladies and gentlemen. Wow is all I have to say, guys. Thoughts? Any kind of mentions going through all of this? What do you guys have to say?
I think Super Mario put up quite a fight. Think of all the people that he took down.
Oh, man.
but Tom Selleck comes out on top like he should.
I I have to say, yeah, that he had a hard road to get there. Feel bad for you, Mario. You were right there, but yeah. What are some thoughts, Ben, just kind of as an overall?
Oh no, it's me. I died. um, I yeah, again, everybody thinks of Tom Selleck when it comes to mustaches. He's iconic. I kind of thought things could have gone a different way, but yeah, I'm not surprised he won.
Oh man, it could have went either way. There were so many close ones. We had so many that had to go to tie breaking. That just tells you how hard it was for us to decide. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner again is Tom Selleck. So congratulations to you, Tom Selleck. Keep up the good work. Never shave that mustache because that is you. When I think of Tom Selleck, I just think mustache. So there you have it. We are going to wrap it up. That's all we got. So we're going to move into our last segment.
Last drop.
Brought to you by coffee. It's all on you, Ben. Take it away.
A museum in St. Louis is celebrating a local holiday by asking visitors to wear underwear on their heads for a Guinness World Record. The city museum said it hopes to gather at least 314 people on March 14th holiday to celebrate the 314 area code to wear underpants on their heads for a new Guinness World Record. So if they have that completed, they will be in the World Record book, and they give out uh, free pairs of underwear to everybody, preferably clean ones that they can wear on the head. That's what I got.
All right. I wonder if Captain Underpants will be there or not.
Maybe so.
We'll have to wait and see. So that is about going to do it for us now. Seth, it was wonderful to have you with us
Yeah.
because we could not have done this without you. So thank you, good sir, for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Yeah, can't agree more. It was a blast. So let's go ahead and do our due diligence. Ben, why don't you tell everyone where they can find us?
So you can search us on Instagram, Facebook. We're on Twitter, or also known as X now, if people are still calling it X. Anyways, at Stash and Joe, you can find us on Twitter. Just search Mustaches and Coffee. You can also just Google us and find what streaming program works for you. And if you have any questions, just email us at mustachesandcoffee@yahoo.com. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit that ring notification. That way, you're automatically updated for any episodes that we have coming out. That's how you can get a hold of us.
Great. Thank you, Ben. And as a reminder, if you like the show, please give us a 5-star rating, whatever platform you have. We want to be able to reach as many as we can. So the more ratings, the more people are going to find us. And just to give a little bit of a shout out to myself, I just started a podcast with none other than Seth. We have what's called Movies at Grandma's House. So if you like old movies you grew up with, children's movies, check it out. Just search Movies at Grandma's House. So just wanted to make sure to mention that. And that's going to do it for now. Again, this was a monumental episode for us. But as they say, all good things have to come to an end. So as we always say, don't bash the stash.
I need espresso for the depresso.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.